Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
Everything I do is something to do with this, you know? It's always in my head. I'm always thinking about it. I'm definitely obsessed with it.
Every young fighter has to start somewhere, and you'll find that the very best of the best only reach the top because of their mindset. These fighters are simply built different from the get-go. And for today's video, we're going to take a look at what some of the greatest ever lace-up gloves have to say about discipline, hard work, and an embrace the grind mentality.
Everything about discipline, and every day, like, you know, train, sleep, eat, repeat. I think like you guys understand me, especially you, Mike.
Yeah, be the champ before you become the champ. You have that lifestyle.
All the time when I see someone compete like in my weight classes, and I think, okay, I'm gonna beat these guys. I can beat all of them, you know, like everything about mental.
The fighting spirit of the great Khabib Nurmagomedov is among the strongest in MMA history.
Here, listen to this.
Every man addicted to something. Some smoke, some drink, some chase girls, some waste time. But real man, he addicted to discipline, to early wakes, to prayer, to training, to silence. Discipline no need motivation. Discipline move without feeling. Discipline say, I go anyway, even when tired, even when lonely. Discipline is best addiction. You want strong life? Discipline build. You want peace? Discipline protect it. You want respect? Discipline earn it. No shortcut, only work. Be man with control, not man with excuse. No cry, no blame. You want better life? Start with better habits. Discipline every day until discipline become you.
I'm going to use that as my morning wake up now.
That makes me feel like a scrub.
This is not the type of man who allows himself to indulge in the vices that corrupt other athletes. Khabib lives a special life of discipline that doesn't end when he leaves the gym in the evening. He's 100% tuned into his life's goals. Not because of the results, but because he knows it is the healthiest way for him to live. But make no mistake, the results have been truly extraordinary. And in a sea of exuberant lifestyles and celebrity excess, the Eagle truly does manage to stand out as something unique. Khabib's teammate Islam Makhachev has managed to elevate himself to similar levels of success.
The discipline I follow all my life. This is the key, you know. Sleep on time, wake up, eat, try to eat always clean, you know.
Just beautiful technique. He's so complete. He's complete everywhere.
It's okay, because I am fighting in Australia when all crowds support my opponent. I fight in Dustin Poirier in the US when everybody support him. But when cage is closed, nobody can help.
So my son's group of kids, you know how last time I sent my kids there?
You want your son
They go next to Dagestan, my son.
Send your son to
I
Dagestan?
go, but I'm going too though. I'm
Why?
not, he can't go by himself.
Why? Brother, if you want your son high-level wrestling, send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
3 years?
Yes.
Yeah, you're out of your mind. 2 weeks.
6 months,
2 weeks,
one
he
time
goes-
you can call him.
2 weeks. Yeah, my son's not going for 6 weeks, man. Too long.
Khabib said that even yourself included, you guys don't just have the discipline, but you guys have sacrificed so much over the last 10 years to get to where you are.
Of course, all my life, you know. The discipline I follow all my life. This is the key, you know. I never go some bad place, never do some bad things. Sleep on time, wake up, eat, try to eat always clean, you know. When I understood, you know, I'm gonna be professional athlete, I follow all this. You know, if you want to be in the high level many years, you have to follow this.
Islam is another student of the great Khabib Nurmagomedov, and it shows. Like Khabib, he has always been in a state of absolute certainty about his goals ever since he first laced up gloves. He didn't just predict his world title success, he knew it in his heart to the point where he simply would not accept second place. Does it take a Makhachev-like level of discipline to make something of yourself? Not necessarily. But if you can approach anything with that level of intensity and consistency, you're gonna shorten your odds considerably. Conor McGregor basically made his name on the back of his insane levels of commitment to discipline and work ethic.
Set a time to train at that time. Set a time to go to sleep at that time. Set a time to get up at that time. Don't tell yourself you need to do something and then don't do it. That's what I was talking about with Ariel. I knew in my head I was saying, get up at this time. I didn't get up at that time. Train at this time. I didn't train at that time. Don't eat this. I ate that. Don't drink that. I drank it. And these all just infiltrate my mental strength.
Just little kind of defeats.
Exactly, little defeats instead of wins. And it just culminates into, and you just don't want to be here. So I'm just figuring myself out like I've never figured myself out before.
Conor is almost like a spokesman for the power of visualization, or at least he was during his best years in the sport. There was something almost magical about seeing him speak things into existence. It was almost as if he could see the future. But what was really going on was Conor was confident in his preparation. He knew he had to put in the work ahead of time, and that when push came to shove, he could count on that prep to see him through to whatever he desired. Of course, like anything, he eventually ran into some problems, namely with the excesses of his lifestyle. But that doesn't invalidate all of the good work he did before then. You don't get cardio like Tony Ferguson's without having some next level discipline.
Hell Week, man, it was fucking nuts. We did debriefing about like why I'm not the same killers I used to be, and he said we need to get you back there and went to training. I'm telling you, I had nightmares just like in my sleep. I would yell numbers and no hands, 62, 72. And I couldn't touch like the handles and stuff, and I would run to the bathroom to go and puke. The next morning, as soon as because I stayed in his house, he opened the door and he's like, "You ready to go?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He's like, "You know what? I tried to break you this whole week. Like I told my lady on Monday night that, you know what, plan the rest of your week because this kid's broke." That way.
When I'm hurt, I love it. I love that feeling because it's real. That's the most realest feeling that you could ever have, is being in pain, because everything else, happiness could be fake, crying could be fake, but pain, shit, that's real. That's plenty of time to learn a thing or two about a thing or two, don't you think? And take an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm not gonna take your condescending handshake, therapist guy. I'm gonna do this shit on my own. You're telling me 6 months to a year? I'm gonna do it in 3 months. I did it in less than 5 months, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because I was good health, good rest, sleep less, run more, work out more, feel better, eat good, rest more. Repeat the process over and over, and it showed inside that octagon tonight.
This is about a 10,000 PSI pipe. It says steel braided. This is my conditioning for my shins. Kukui. No blood.
El Kukui had some pretty weird quirks to his training style, and the viral videos that showcased him engaging in some bizarre preparation gave us all a good laugh. But there is a method to Tony's madness, and the way he managed to carve out that 12-fight win streak in a historically tough time at 155 pounds proves that he was a genius in his own special way. Ferguson's cardio was one thing, but it was just his ability to recover from damage and rebound that really made him great. That doesn't just take lung capacity, that takes a level of mental strength that can only be achieved by putting yourself in tough positions every day in the gym. Michael Chandler sometimes talks like a motivational speaker, so it should come as no surprise that he's full of in-depth insight.
We see all of these crazy successes, and of course, yeah, there's lightning striking in a bottle or whatever you call it, or
yeah, it does
flash in
happen.
the pans.
Yeah.
And there's these things that happen, dude. But the people that are at the top, the people that get to those lofty places, it really is just normal everyday people doing normal everyday things, as disciplined as possible, and not being afraid to take the long road, to take the hard road, brick by boring brick. We do it every single day. When you stand at your greatest moment of opportunity or your darkest hour, you have to be able to answer that question. Did I do enough? Am I enough? And you are enough if you've done the little things leading up to it.
We're serious, Michael Chandler could probably write a book on motivation if he wanted to. The dude just oozes the type of get up and go attitude that some people desperately need. And though he didn't manage to win UFC gold during his stint in the promotion so far, he's a 3-time Bellator champion, and he was part of a very strong division. George St. Pierre is in many ways the perfect martial artist, and his mindset is well and truly bulletproof.
What I would say to, for example, because my field of expertise it's in sport of mixed martial art, I would say to a young kid, make your training playful. You know, when you get ready for competition, you need to train to recreate those elements that makes you go outside of your comfort zone. But in everyday's life in general, make your training playful.
I realize that guy is supremely disciplined.
Yeah.
Supremely dedicated. Like, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't f around, doesn't abuse his body, always fit, always in shape, always training.
Now happily retired, it should come as no surprise that George is a genuinely clear-headed and focused individual. Plus, the fact that he's such a well-spoken dude allows him to articulate exactly what's on his mind so well. GSP was the champion of the welterweight division for way longer than any of the other fighters who have held that belt. And when you spend that long with a target on your back, and you still keep winning, that takes some real fortitude. Remember, if you're enjoying this content, be sure to get involved by liking the video and leaving a comment. Daniel Cormier was an Olympian long before he was a two-weight UFC champion, and that takes some real mental toughness.
When I was fighting at 205, I was doing 15 workouts a week to become a UFC champion. I would get up at 7 a.m., I would hit pads on Monday, Wednesday, then I would go to sparring, and then I would do bikes at night, cardio. Tuesdays, 11 a.m. pads, 12 o'clock wrestling. Then at night, I would hit pads again and run. I was doing 15 a week.
Cormier has had major coach energy since day one, and if he expects his students to work, you'd better believe that he's not going to be caught slipping himself. Cormier is a workhorse, and a guy who is somehow a cardio machine. Despite looking like your dad's best friend, DC found himself coming in second to two of the greatest fighters in UFC history, Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic, and yet his motivation to work never dwindled. Khamzat Chimaev simply is not built the same as you and I, and it shows every time he opens his mouth.
Hey, so what now? Say something! So what now? I'm most dangerous guy here. I'm gonna cover for everyone. Everybody, all over what's Nobody can stop me. If I die in the cage. I never leave that cage now. It's my home. I take everything from you guys.
I did sacrifices living in the gym, no money, no one was believing in me. That was a hard time for me. I always want to be myself, do something better for my mom, for my family. That makes me who I am today, be a great fighter and be one of the best in the top. Train hard, push myself beyond limit. I want to get my title, my goal. This is my dream.
That insane first-round intensity didn't just come out of nowhere, folks. Khamzat Chimaev is hungry every single day in the gym. And if you listen to the rumors, he never loses, even behind closed doors. As the recently crowned middleweight champion, only time will tell just how far he can go. But Khamzat brings a totally different level of competitive intensity to the table. There's no other way to say it. Jon Jones might just be the greatest to ever do it, and for all his faults, he still knows exactly what it takes to be where he is.
11. I went through this huge spiritual thing where I became obsessed with the power of the mind, meditation, visualization, and just realizing how powerful our minds actually are, like how we really do paint our world with our thoughts and our level of self-belief. So I took myself from being very average-minded to actually believing that I was the and believing that I could be the and that I could be the GOAT.
Was it all natural talent that got Jones to where he is? Absolutely not. Jones might have enjoyed a little too much partying from time to time, but that doesn't mean he wasn't totally zoned in when the time came. By his own admission, he is addicted to studying tape, and he absorbs data like a supercomputer. Factor in an inhuman ability to learn new skills, and you have one of the finest fighters the Octagon has ever known. Max Holloway isn't just a cardio freak. He's also one of the most dynamic and creative strikers we've ever seen in MMA, and that takes a whole lot of work and dedication.
Just keep going. Just keep going, you know. There's gonna be a lot of bumps. There's gonna be a lot of downs. There's gonna feel like there's a lot of downs and ups in this game, and You just gotta keep on grinding, you know? A lot of people think success is just this steady incline of going up, but it doesn't. Real success is up, down, left, right. A lot of downs. Just keep pushing, you know? Just keep striving for greatness. Pick a discipline, get really badass in that one discipline, and then work on your other disciplines and you know, make it just as badass. You know, it's like foundation is key. You know, whenever you build a house, you start from the foundation of the house. You know, if you build a 2-story house, you're not starting from the 2nd story, you're starting from the ground up. So have a strong foundation and build up.
Max Holloway stopped sparring for several years of his career, instead preferring to use the power of his own mind to visualize situations and avoid taking unnecessary damage in the training room. That's a smart dude, folks. And when you see Holloway enter his flow state, you can tell that he has spent more time shadowboxing and hitting pads than anyone. And that, ladies and gentlemen, takes a whole lot of discipline and attention. When it comes to Israel Adesanya, his attention to detail is everything.
But you have to work. When you have the vision and you're able to manifest, but then you also put the work in, magic happens, man. Magic.
Can you explain how strong self-discipline separates the good from the great?
Okay, so I'll be honest, I wasn't always disciplined because I was so talented. I just got by on my talent for so long. But then when I realized at a certain level, I needed to be fully disciplined in my own craft and hone myself, that made me dangerous. Even for this fight as an adult, I stepped it up 3 notches for this camp. And I became way more disciplined in the way I coordinate myself before and after trainings. And I can tell you one thing, you see Saturday night, all the work will pay off. All the work will pay off. And that's where I get my confidence from.
I'm gonna use a great example. Yeah. Kobe and his mama mentality. Kobe and his mama mentality, it helped him become one of the greatest hoopers ever.
Yeah.
And if you guys have that mentality and you guys have the work ethic, then nothing could stop you. You can accomplish anything.
I'm telling you, man, they always tell you the sky's the limit. But whoever said that did not know about the universe. It's endless. There is no limit. You can do whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
For me, it was just like once in a lifetime thing to be able to say I ran with David Goggins and I just wanted to feel that darkness. Even I watched it again 3 weeks ago. I watched the tape again 3 weeks ago and I was just like watching him.
Okay,
Especially on the Stairmaster, I was like, is there a bit he like slows down or breaks or has a chink in his armor? But nah, same energy. And when he pulled up on me, bro, he walked, Izzy! We turn around, we're like, oh, the energy's already here. And he's walking, his legs is kind of like, oh yeah.
Izzy, at the best of times, is an artist in that cage, and he has very obviously spent hours upon hours drilling the most minute of techniques just to ensure that it's as close to perfect as can be. Adesanya always felt like an outcast when he was growing up, or at least he did until he found kickboxing, but that solitude allowed him to develop the type of mental strength that most fighters would kill for. And it goes without saying that his early struggles forged him into the man he is today, a 2-time world champion. But in all of MMA history, who do you think has the strongest mindset of all? Let us know in the comments below. Enjoy this video? Be sure to smash the sub button and stick around and support the channel by checking out some of our other uploads. Thanks for watching.